Now, you need to also check again, how easy is it for current software developers, that means those who now develop that code on C++. Remember, I told people that read computer engineering, computer science, or anything computer related, and those that programming, the normal programming language now, the popular one is C++, Java. There's also is it code on one, you know, right. So if you're already programming on this one, of course the blockchain language is different, but you can convert to become a blockchain developer. So for you investing in a blockchain layer 1 project, you need to also find out what language is used to program on that blockchain, and how easy is it for blockchain developers to migrate onto that chain and start developing programs. Remember, it is the programs or software developed by blockchain that increases the goods and services that layer 1 blockchain can offer, which in turn increases the value of the coin when you invest in it. I understand how it's a chain reaction. Okay, so in fact, an example is Solana. Solana's language is called Rust. That's the language that you use to program on the Solana system. And that's what gives Solana that big boost it had in terms of its coin rising. Because Rust was created based on a combination of Turbo C++ and Java programming language. So based on that, most programmers were already used to Turbo C++, and some used to Java, and some can do the both. So those who could use both C++ and Java, it was easy for them to use Rust because they were seeing what they already used to, language coding system used to. So it was faster to build out a lot of the apps or development solutions on Solana than it was to build on Tron and the rest of them. Did you see how what added to why that coin catapulted, or let's say pumped as high as it did? Okay, so another thing to consider with respect to growing their developer community is whether or not layer 1 or layer 2 project is gaining traction with onboarding developers from countries with more resources versus countries with less resources. Let me break this down. When developers come on board to develop or provide blockchain solutions on layer 1 blockchain platforms, okay, the ease at which they are able to onboard, that means with which they are able to navigate the system, navigate what they want to do there, build it out fast, and then with less incompatibilities, then you need to check out again, where are those guys developing from country. Let us say a developer in US has more resources at his disposal than a developer in Nigeria. Why do I say so? Over there is power, constant power. So for him, it costs him next to nothing to be online developing and all that. Over there's free internet provided by the government system, so it costs him less to be online. For someone in Nigeria, you have your house, you put the diesel cost, fuel cost, you also do your internet subscription, more cost. Then for them, they already have a lot of things in the digital space, so interconnectivity is easy. That means it doesn't need to build out a whole transport system. Transport systems, it doesn't need to build out a whole supply chain. They are there. So it just needs to plug one and two infrastructure together to get what he wants. That means they don't need to reinvent the wheel. But for us in Nigeria, the government infrastructure is next to zero. So there's no backbone. Then our technological advancement is still very poor. So there are no built out backbones you can hang on to or latch on to begin to develop what you're developing. So you have to develop from the scratch. Are you understanding why the challenge is in terms of programmers here and there, challenges they face? So over there, it's easier for them to be very resourceful because a lot of infrastructure is in place and they can quickly couple one or two together. They don't need to reinvent the wheel. But for us here, every programmer might have to start from the scratch, from the canvas at the scratch, with little or nothing to plug in. So this covers the human capital aspect of efficiency in value creation in an economy. This my teaching might be a little bit advanced because it's a class for my advanced students, but just try and understand it the best way you can. Come back to the video, watch it over and over again, and to be sinking gradually as we go. If you're a newcomer, you just joined my academy, please don't feel lost. Don't worry, you're going to understand this. Just any class you can sit in, listen, take notes. As you are going through the training, gradually the pieces will be of the puzzle will begin to fall in the right places for you, and you comfortably move your learning pace faster. Okay. So next thing you have to consider again is how much financial capital the layer 1 or layer 2 project can secure to support the network and increase productivity, value creation, and then massive amount of money, support, and continued funding and support to get a healthy, sustainable size and ideally keep growing into the future. That means for every cryptocurrency project, it's highly financially strenuous to build it out to completion. Notice that, like I said in my introductory class, people invest in project without looking at the roadmap. Roadmap should tell you at what point of the project are you coming in. Are you coming in at the early stage of the project? Let's say a cryptocurrency roadmap has about 18 stages in their roadmap, spread out over 3 years. Okay, and let's say it's at six steps per year. So the 18 steps is for 3 years, and you came in at the beginning of the project, maybe in second month the project was launched, which means the project might still be in step 3 of their 18-step process. Because you didn't read the roadmap or white paper, you now assume that the coin is going to do 10x in a space of 3 months to 6 months to 1 year. Suddenly, 8 months, 1 year down the line, the coin is not moving. Instead, it's even going down. You're like, this coin, cryptocurrency has dealt with me. It didn't deal with you. You just don't know how to interpret the investment you made. That project at step 3, the project has barely taken off. You might have to wait till the project gets to at least half of its stages, which is at step 9. That step 9 might be in the second year, third quarter of second year. So the project you enter is a long-term project. You have to give time to build out. Like when I told you guys to invest in SteamX. SteamX is a long-term project. Go and look at SteamX roadmap. They have finished the second stage, about to enter the third stage. It is in that ending of third stage that coin will pump. Not now. Not now. So if you bought the coin and thinking it's a 1 year thing, no, it's a 2 year, 3 years coin. I told you it's not, but that's a coin that if you buy and keep now, when that time comes, when it happens, you will just sleep one day poor. Sorry, nobody in my academy is poor. You sleep one day with less finances, wake up in the morning, the news has happened, brrr, everywhere. You can't convert crypto, you see money everywhere. So that's how to key into some project. This is how I'm able to pick out certain projects I key into very early. That gives me those massive returns I expect. Okay, so you must check out if the funding is sufficient. If once a project lacks funding, that project truncates and terminates. Its growth stunts, and that's the end. The project will rock pool. So you have to be sure that there's continuous funding to sustain that particular project and growing into the future. And how do you check that? That's where you look at partners, partnering in a project. Which venture capitalists are supporting the project? At what stage are they in the project? What's the utility value of the project to drive token sales to an extent where, in fact, if a project depends only on token sales to succeed in the crypto space, I'm sorry, that project will not see light of the day. A system must be put in place to ensure steady inflow of finances to keep building the project. So you must look at that. Next thing to consider next again is the infrastructure, which consists of the actual underlying blockchain technology, as well as everything built on top of it to support the network. Like I said, if you invest in the layer 2 project, you must look at the layer 1, the infrastructure. Remember that layer 2 is built on layer 1. So you must look at the strength of the layer 1 carrying the layer 2. Okay? So you must look at developer tools, connection to wallets, browser extensions. That means developer tools are what and what can be used on the space. Now, you also need to look at where the layer 1 or 2 project is currently at from a developmental standpoint and where it plans to go in the future based on their roadmaps. This is another key aspect to consider before investing. That's actually what I've been explaining all this while. Okay, these are bullet points from my notes. So I've already explained that aspect as well. So you know at which point you are in, where's the project heading to, and you can now know if the project begins to derail, you will know it has started derailing. And call back the project team to order. Or begin to mitigate your risk by divesting in the investment or liquidating your investment while there's still time. Do you understand where we're coming from now? So no investment is set in stone. You have to keep monitoring it. You have to keep analyzing it. Know when to enter, know when to exit, know when to mitigate that investment, and know when to say, okay, it's safe. Okay? Now, in summary, the three essential aspects of any economy that fosters efficient value creation are: one, human capital. That's I explained before. Two, financial capital. And finally, three, infrastructure. These are the three aspects of value creation efficiency in a crypto project, whether it's layer 1 or layer 2. Now, the second aspect we need to look at again when we want to invest in a crypto project, the second one is direct competition on chain. That means direct on-chain competition. This competition boosts innovation. What do you mean by on-chain competition? Let's say on the Ethereum blockchain, we have Uniswap, we have SushiSwap. These are all decentralized exchanges. Okay? Competing amongst themselves. We also have, there's another swap by Aave. I can't remember the name of their swap again. Also on that blockchain competing. Now, the various services the individuals are offering will force them to improve as we go. Like if Uniswap is offering staking services and SushiSwap is not, Sushi is bound to expand their services to start offering staking, so as not to lose their customers or their community members to Uniswap. That's what we call on-chain competition. Let us say in DeFi protocols, Aave is a DeFi protocol, 1inch is one. Let us say that services one is offering, the other one is not offering. That leads to competition immediately. And those competition now increases innovation. So direct competition on-chain helps boost innovation, and that in turn increases the value of the project in the shortest possible time. Now, on-chain direct competition will ultimately make the blockchain platform more globally cross-chain competitive. So this cross-chain competition also increases value, but it starts on-chain first to make the economy more robust. Now, the third aspect I want to talk about now, it's supporting synergistic industries. Okay, that means remember that crypto is now evolving to a place where interoperability is now what is key. So if singular projects are able to do well, how much more a project that incorporates such level of synergy in various industrial arms of cryptocurrency? Are you seeing how I'm able to analyze projects? So you to begin to look at projects that have such synergy, it helps boost the value of that coin very fast. All right. Now, the third thing you must consider, sorry, the fourth one, I told you it's 4 things you will consider. This is the fourth one now, is strong user demand. It is in this user, remember, the laws of economics is demand and supply that determine how coins go up and down. So you must be able to create sustainable demand for the project to appreciate in value. And how do you create that? By building the community. That's why Helium is, as of today, is still building the community. They are still doing Zooms every Thursday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Their Zoom is ongoing. They are building their community. Other networks also, remember, Binance, you know Binance, the biggest crypto exchange, they are still doing their Zooms. Binance does a Zoom meeting every Wednesday to onboard new members. They keep doing one promo or the other to make people try out new services they have. So you see a crypto project with an active community building arm, be happy about it. It should be a reason why you should invest in that project, because you know that the demand for the coin is going to increase over time as long as the community building is constant and increasing. Do you understand me now? So it's an advantage, not a disadvantage. But please Not all cryptocurrency projects with active community building arm are genuine projects. Most of them are also Ponzi schemes. Remember, invest $10, we double it to $20. Invest 20, we double it to $100. Is not true. In cryptocurrency, money doubling does not occur here. As you are seeing the factors I've listed to you that make a coin value go up, do you think one person or a particular company can manipulate all these factors? You can manipulate it. They will happen organically. So that's how it happens. Project to project to project. No one project you are sure will give you everything. No. You have to scatter your seed on different farming fields. Put some in DeFi, put some in NFT, put some in Metaverse, put some in DAOs, put some in DACs, put some in layer 1s, put some in layer 2. But very, very quality projects. That's what matters most. Quality projects, so that when the sentiments die down, when the noise dies down, the use case of this coin will ensure that your investment is returned in multiples. Remember, nobody loses in crypto until you sell the coin. My secret is simply bringing out projects that I'm sure the fundamentals are so strong, the use case is strong, the team is good, the project solves a specific problem of our time, and I know that that problem is solved, is scalable. That means more people will come in, which means the community will be easy to build. Then I look at the layer supporting it. If it's a layer 1, layer 2, it's one of my investment secrets I'm teaching you today. Today's class is a very important one for those who understand what I'm giving to you now. So when I put all these things together, I can say, okay, let's go this way and wait. Will it happen? Yes, it will happen. But I might not know when it will happen. But it will surely happen. Why? Because these parameters I set out has been met by that project. If a project meets up to 80% of my parameters, I'm good to go. It must be 100%. Okay? So I want to get you to a point where you are able to do the same too for yourself and for those following you. Because some of you with me are also leaders. You have your community as well. You have your own followers. So for you, it's like train the trainer. Okay? So this is what I'm revealing to you now in today's classes. Put these factors together and pick out a project. And if you're lucky, some of us are lucky, some projects are low cap. If you get any such project with all these qualities at less than 10 million market cap, you have hit the moon. You have hit gold. If you get it less than 20 million, you are in game. In fact, less than 50 million, you are still perfect. Less than 250 million, you are still in game. But I'm just telling you, the closer it is to 10 million, the more you're, because are you understanding how these things happen? So ability to catch these game projects very early. So if a layer 1 or 2 project has a lot of demand from the existing user base and they effectively are consistently growing that demand, that means if your effective user base is growing, the demand is also growing as well. And so based on this, it will force the blockchain network and all of the decentralized applications being built on it to grow as well. So it forces the blockchain team to keep innovating and to be on their toes, so they don't sleep, and that way we grow and innovate faster. And the faster the market, the more market share that project can secure. That means there's a speed aspect to every crypto project and every other business. To wrap up, next one we'll look at is the quality. The final is the quality of the user base is also very important as well, because it will detect the products and services developed on that chain. So as you go, groom yourself, keep growing in strength. A time will come when you get to my stage when you are able to discuss projects with the founders of the projects, one-on-one with them, talk with them, give them recommendations, follow up on what they are doing. And in overall, your investment now is not just a hearsay kind of investment, but investment you are sure will give you returns on your investment. Okay, so I think we've done over an hour now. I'll wrap it up here. Give yourself some little discomfort for a period of time for a later maximize returns and wonderful comfortable life. It's not too much to do for yourself. Okay, all right, with that I come to the end of this section. I love you all. Have a wonderful night rest and week ahead, and come back to the videos in case for those who missed out come back, the video will be here for you, okay? All right, so see you next Sunday, this time by 9, and bye-bye.